This week I'm going to be sharing a little bit with you about the song Live as the Free. It might surprise you that this is actually a song that I really like and I really don't like. And I'll explain a little bit why I feel that way about this song. So I really like this song because often I feel like there aren't many songs that compel us to live a different life because of who we are saved to be in Jesus. So this song came about not necessarily for the most perfect reasons. I was leading a Bible study in which some people in the Bible study were convinced that it did not matter how they lived. Jesus had died for them, and he had. They were saved through grace by faith, which is true, but that therefore it didn't matter how they lived. They could sin to their heart's content, but it made no difference. God didn't care how they lived. God just wanted him to trust them. And I tried to point them to Romans, which talked about actually, you were set free to live lives to honor and please God because you love him. And that really struck me because I didn't convince them, and that's okay. That's God's work to do, not necessarily mine. But it made me want to write a song that not necessarily convinced them, but that touched on this thing that that we should want as Christians who love and trust Jesus to live lives that are different, not because we have to, but because we want to. So I was reading through Romans, hence why I took them there. And I started reading it a little bit more. And I got stuck on Romans 6. And so Romans 6 pretty much formed this song. And it just really built the foundations of it. It says in Romans 5, it started, verse 10, while we were God's enemies, we were reconciled to him through the death of his son. And so the song starts with, while we were dead in sin, helpless and dead within, or something like that. I should know the words, right? At that time, Jesus came and died for us. What a love, what a cost, willingly paid on the cross. Took our sin, and yet in return, we get innocence. And so I was trying to build that foundation of salvation. We get innocence. So our response is, and then the chorus is, our response is, we lift our voice, we lift our praise to the saving King. Our debt he paid with thankfulness since we've been redeemed. Let's live as the free. I didn't have all of that down pat first. Originally I had grace now covers me instead of live as the free. But the more that I read throughout Romans, the more this language, and I'm sorry, I keep looking down at my Bible, but the more this language keeps coming up, that we use our freedom to live lives to honor and please God, not because we have to, because we don't have to, but because we love God and we want to honor him. And it's a delight to honor him. And so I kept reading throughout Romans, and there's another one that I loved which said, for sin shall no longer be your master, because you are not under the law, but you are under grace. And so there's a line in that says that we now live under the power of grace. I originally had law of grace, but very helpfully Pastor Aaron pointed out that power of grace probably is less confusing, and he is right. So I really like the song. It's in the sense of I liked the content of it. The things I don't like about it, I don't like that it's got 3 verses and a bridge. That's pretty long. And so I don't think that works for the song. I don't love the melody. I quite like the chorus. I feel like it's uplifting, and I really like that kind of let's live as the free. Like it's quite anthemic. That's an anthem to sing. But I kind of find the verses a little bit dull. And sometimes the beats of the song, like the way that you sing the verses, aren't always very logical. So it can be a little bit hard to follow. So I guess what I'm saying is this song that I've written, it is not perfect. It's not yeah, I don't think it's the best song I've ever written, but I do really like the fact that this song calls us to want to live a life that is transformed and changed and in honor of a good, gracious God that has saved us. While we were completely dead and useless to Him, He poured out love and life into us, and that is worth singing about and praising and using our freedom to want to love and honor Him more. So that's why I like the song, and also why I don't like the song. So if you love it or don't like it, that's okay. You're with me as well. Yeah, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight as to how this song was written.